We all know that Rizal is our Philippine national hero and his famous contributions freed us from the Spanish colony. Rizal used a unique way to fight. He fought for freedom using a quill, paper, talent in writing, and his intellectual. This video will help you know whether Rizal is a reformist or a revolutionary, since until now, it is still debatable whether Rizal was a reformist or a revolutionary. Interesting, right? This video will provide you guys additional information about Rizal and will help you decide on yourselves whether Rizal is a reformist or a revolutionary. Let's start by defining reformist and revolutionary. First, what is reformist? Reformists are people who seek gradual change in the system. In the context of Rizal's time, there are people who want changes in the Spanish government for the Filipinos. How about Rizal as revolutionary? What does it mean to be a revolutionary? Unlike reformists, those who consider themselves revolutionary seeks to overthrow the current system. Now that we understand what being a reformist and a revolutionary means, let's look at the evidences of why Rizal can be considered a reformist and a revolutionary. The evidences of Rizal as a reformist is his identity as an ilustrado and his goal of assimilation. During the Spanish colonial period, education is not available to all. However, there are people who go to Spain to study, and these people are called ilustrados. The ilustrados then created an organization named Propaganda Movement, which aimed to fight for the political rights of the Filipinos. During his stay in Spain, Rizal became aware that the Philippines can be a province of Spain. This means that the Spain will rule the Philippines, while the Filipinos at that time will have a status equal to the Spanish people. But what about Rizal as a revolutionary? The first evidence why Rizal is a revolutionary would be his abandonment of assimilation. This made the Filipinos in the Spain lose motivation and think that their campaigns were futile. Do you have in mind now whether Rizal was a reformist or a revolutionary? But hold on, before you decide, let us proceed to the second evidence. The second evidence for Rizal as reformist is in his novel Noli Me Tangere, his resemblance to Crisostomo Ibarra, and the death of Elias. One of the famous novels written by Rizal, the Noli Me Tangere, is an evidence of how Rizal fought for freedom. Rizal used this novel to expose the abusive ways of the Spanish authorities and friars. In the novel, the main character Crisostomo Ibarra is believed to represent Rizal. Just like Rizal, Ibarra aims to provide education for the people. Meanwhile, Elias, one of the characters in Noli Me Tangere, is the character that symbolizes a revolutionary. However, in this novel, Elias died and his death meant that for Rizal, the Philippines still did not need a revolution but only change. Meanwhile, in his novel El Filibusterismo, the sequel of Noli Me Tangere, Crisostomo Ibarra, who was disguised as a jewelry man named Simon, was shown to be pushing for a revolution. As Ibarra was considered the representation of Rizal in Noli Me Tangere, many believe that the change in Ibarra's personality also represents Rizal's changes. However, some analyses believe that Basilio, who seeks education for the people, was Rizal's representation in El Filibusterismo. The true representation of Rizal in El Fili is still debatable. And lastly, the last evidence but the confusing part. His rejection to the revolution suggested by KKK, that's Rizal as a reformist. During Rizal's imprisonment, Andres Bonifacio sent Dr. Pio Valwenzuela to Dapitan to seek Rizal's opinion and approval in launching an armed rebellion against the Spanish administration. On Dr. Pio's account of the revolution, he supported that Rizal was against the revolution. But Rizal, in his La Solidaridad, already believed in the need for a revolution. Rizal said, in order that he may make progress, necessarily requires change. It implies the overthrow of sanctified past by the present, the victory of new ideas over the accepted ones. the lack of national consciousness give rise to another evil, which is the absence of all opposition to measure prejudicial to the people and the absence of any initiative in whatever may rebound to their good. A man in the Philippines is only an individual. He is not a member of a nation. Before you decide, let us hear what we have decided as a group. In our group decision, all members think that Rizal is a reformist. Rizal maybe somehow thought about the revolution would make progress for the movement. However, in the end, he fought professionally in a way that no shouts, blood, gun and sword were included. Only pen and paper and his outstanding talent in writing as a nationalistic writer awakening the people of the Philippines' nationalistic spirit. He had the chance to serve the revolution when he got home, yet he did not. Even when he died, Rizal did not support the revolution. Rizal was indeed a reformist since he tried to change the ill government's treatment towards people, especially in the Filipinos. And here we are, celebrating our Independence Day every year because of Rizal's contribution to the freedom of the Philippines. Now, it's your turn. Is Rizal a reformist or a revolutionary?